So for your 2.06 quiz, there's a couple questions that I wanted to talk about to make sure that everyone was good as far as how to do them. So we're talking about volume. This says, what is the volume of a right circular cylinder with a base diameter of 18 yards and a height of 3 yards? We want to express our answer using pi. So we're going to leave pi in the final answer. First of all, the volume is going to be the area of the base. I'm going to put a capital B to remind us this, the area of the base times the height. Well, since it's a cylinder, that means the base is a circle. So the area of the base is going to be pi times the radius squared, that's the area of a circle, and then still times the height of the cylinder. So we use pi still. The radius, though, and this is where you have to be careful, we don't know the radius yet, we know the diameter. Diameter is 18 yards, which means the radius is 9 yards. So then we plug in 9 squared, and then times the height of 3. So we have pi times 9 squared is 81 times 3. So now since we want it in terms of pi, what you do is you treat pi like a variable, even though it's not a variable. It's a number, 3.1415, and it keeps going on and on. But we're going to treat pi like a variable in the sense that we want it to be after our numbers, and we're just going to multiply any numbers that we have that don't involve pi and simplify there. So 3 times 81 will give you 243. Then we tack on the pi at the end, and that would be in cubic yards, and we're done. So when it says leave your answer in terms of pi, it means just don't multiply the pi out. Don't multiply it out and round, because if you multiply by pi, you end up having to round to put an answer down. So this is a very exact answer. You could put it in your calculator and get the exact answer, 243 times pi, and that is the volume of the cylinder. And just as a reminder, because we are throwing around a lot of different terms, a cylinder, although this is not the prettiest drawing, it looks like this. So like a roll of paper towel or something like that. That's what you would think of when you talk about a cylinder. Here's another question I want to talk about, and it says, a right circular cylinder has a height of 20.5 feet. So again, another cylinder. And this time, it has a height of 20.5 feet. So not a very good drawing there, but y'all can get the picture. The height is 20.5, and so I'm going to put 20.5. Remember, 0.5 is just the decimal version of 1/2. And then the diameter is 1 1/5 times its height. So this is important because we don't know what the diameter is, but we can easily find it. Take that height of 20.5, or 20 1/2, multiply it times 1 1/5, or the decimal version of 1/5 is 0.2. So you can just, if you want to make it easier, you can say 1.2 instead of having to involve fractions. Either one is perfectly fine though, but you do have to multiply the height times the diameter. Or excuse me, not the height times the diameter, the ratio there, that scale factor, for lack of a better term, times the diameter, or times the height. Then this will give us the diameter. So we're going to do 20.5 times 1.2. You'll grab your calculator and you'll just enter this in. And so you'll get 24.6 for the diameter. But we're not going to be done there. They want to know the volume of the cylinder. And just like in the last one you looked at, you would find the area of the base times the height for the volume. Well, since the base is a circle in a cylinder, we do pi times the radius squared, and then times the height. Well, we know the diameter, we don't know the radius. Anytime you have the diameter, the radius is just half the diameter. Remember, the radius goes from the center of that circle out to any point on the circle. And so it's half of the diameter, which means if I have 24.6 as the diameter, the radius would be 12.3. So now it says use 3.14 for pi, so we're going to replace pi with 3.14 times the radius is 12.3 squared, and then times a height of 20.5. And it says round only your final answer to the nearest hundred. So don't round before you get that final answer. So we're going to take 3.14 times 12.3 squared, or times 12.3 two times, because that's what squared means. Multiplying it times itself. And then times 20.5. And here, you're going to get a pretty large number. Remember, the height was already 20.5 feet. So then when you find the area of the base and multiply it times the height, it makes sense that we would get a large number, 9,738. And then rounding to the nearest hundredth, remember that's 2 decimal places. So it says 0.5373. That's 7. We'll make the 3 round up to a 4. And we are in feet. So cubic feet. Volume is always in cubic units. And that'll be it.